Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be making a Victoria sponge cake. Yeah, it's my mom's birthday tomorrow. Well, it won't be tomorrow when I post this, but it's my mom's birthday and she requested that we bake a cake, not order one. So I'm going to make the cake today whilst the others are at school. And yeah, full disclaimer, I don't bake even up to 10% as much as I cook. So although all my cooking recipes on this video are totally mine, and you know, it all comes from up here, whenever I do bake, I usually just follow an online recipe because, you know, I haven't learned all the science yet, so I'm not, you know, good enough to do things on the fly like I do with cooking. So with that in mind, I will leave the link to the YouTube video that I got this recipe for. And yeah, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I've done is line two 6-inch baking tins. Usually I line cake tins with baking paper, greaseproof paper, but we ran out and I didn't notice. So I've done it with foil for the first time ever. It's making me a bit nervous, but hopefully it'll be okay. I always recommend that you use greaseproof paper over foil, especially for cakes, because, you know, it sticks to the, it makes it easier to carry. To take out of the tin basically. However, I do have like a cheesecake tin with a push bottom that I'm using, so hopefully that will help despite the foil. And finally, I have preheated the oven to 160 degrees Celsius because this batter is really quick to make, so yeah, let's go. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is crack 3 eggs into my main mixing bowl, and I'm just going to separate them as well. I can see a shell's landed in there, but not to worry. Okay, yolks, different bowl. And let me just get that shell out. There we go. Okay, the next thing to do is grab our egg yolk and add 30 milliliters or 30 grams of milk. There we go. That's a little too much. And then we want 20 grams of vegetable oil. This is such a big container, but hopefully I can do it. There we go. Okay, next the video adds 1 teaspoon of vanilla bean paste. However, I only have this regular cheap Aldi vanilla, so I'm going to add 2 teaspoons and hopefully that'll be fine. This is a bit liquidy though, so maybe I should have put a bit less milk. There we go. Okay, so with that I'm just going to grab one of the whisks for my hand mixer so I don't have to wash up loads. And mix that all together. Nice. Okay, now we can get started on whipping the egg whites. With a hand mixer, I suggest very strongly. I mean, you can do it by hand if you want, or in a stand mixer if you prefer. But I feel like this is just a bit too small a cake for a stand mixer. And you're just gonna whip this up, and I have 90 grams of sugar over here, which I'm gonna add in slowly. If I turn the switch on, that is. Okay, the next thing to do is add this in 3 lots, roughly. And we're just gonna whip that up. Okay, now we have this really nice bubbly mixture, and the final thing to do is grab 90 grams of self-raising flour and sift it in. Like, oh, I don't know why I didn't see that coming. There we go. Okay. Alright, so now we use trusty spatula and we're just going to fold that in very gently. And you want it all to be incorporated, but you really do not want to overmix, and you don't want to knock it too hard either. This is actually my first time ever making a sponge cake, so if it fails, I'm very sorry, Mum. Yeah. I'm more of a cupcake muffin kind of person, and banana bread, that is all my cake range goes to. So I think we're done here. Oh no, I found one more. So yeah, I've never really baked a whole cake, I don't think. Maybe once with heavy guidance from my mom, because she's basically a professional baker. And yeah. Okay. Now I have my 2 tins, and I'm just going to pour a half of this mixture in each of them. Just realised if I haven't foiled my tin well enough, then this batter could leak because it's a cheesecake tin. But let's hope that I'm not that useless. Anyway, let's put all the rest in here because you're looking a bit more flat. There we go. Right. Finally, gonna just smooth it out a little bit. In the video, they use one large pan. They sort of put everything in this one, basically, which is why these are looking so flat. But I figured it'll be easier, since I'm not a pro at baking and cake slicing, that for the sponge cake, since I will be putting filling in it, I just bake in 2 flat sheets to start with and make my life easier from the get-go. Okay, now I'm gonna put this in the oven. Alright, so both cakes have gone in the oven now, and it shouldn't take longer than around 30-35 minutes. Do check at 30, maybe even 25. Mine are really thin, so I'll check at 25 just in case. And yeah, maybe I should have made twice the batter and just bigger cakes. Who knows? Who knows? Alright, I'll be back when the cakes are done and we can put them out to cool together. And then we can start on the filling. I'm back and the cakes have cooled, and it's time to make the cream filling now. I will say that I had to make 2 new cakes because the first ones came out great, but one of my sisters thought that they were too thin, and who am I to argue? So I just doubled the recipe and did the exact same thing. Anyway, this is a 300ml pot of cream. I've put some sugar in there to start with. Now I'm going to throw in some vanilla. There really is no exact science to whipped cream. You just do it to the taste that you want. So yeah, maybe if you're doing it for the first time, start with less of everything and then add more as you go along, as you try it. But I've made whipped cream a few times now, so I know roughly how much of everything I want. And bear in mind, you don't want this too sweet because you've got the jam that's going to go in with the cake as well. Anyway, got my trusty mixer again, and let's go. Okay, so the only way you can actually mess up whipped cream is by over mixing it. Then it'll start turning to butter, so don't do that. And when you start to see that you can see the ripples, you just want to check it, and as you can see, we have very nice stiff peaks. So I am done with that. So now we can get to filling the cake, I guess. Almost done. Okay, it's like 7 AM right now, and I'm finally gonna do all the filling and stuff right before my mum wakes up. I kept having nightmares that it would like topple over or something, plus I didn't know where I'd hide it if I composed everything last night. So I just made the cream, put it in the fridge so I wouldn't be making noise this morning. And yeah, I'm just gonna bring everything out. I did wrap the cakes in cling film, and yeah, last step. Let's go. Alright, so here are the cakes. As I said earlier, I did remake the batter because the first batch I made was half as thick, so it was about, I don't know, maybe 1 inch, whereas these are about 2-inch layers. which I think is much better. So if you want to do that, just double the batter from what I did before, and then do the exact same steps. Okay, this one has a few cosmetic injuries, and I think it like ripped somewhere at the bottom because it stuck to the foil too much. So it'll go on the bottom, and I'll just fill in the gaps with some jam or cream, I don't know. Yeah, okay, let's go. Alright, so I have a cake plate over here, which I've covered in foil, just because that's what we do in this house, so that you don't get like nasty stuff just sticking to it all the time. Makes it easy to clean as well. Okay, I'm not really sure how to do this because there's a hole here that I feel like I should fill, but then if I turn it upside down, you can't notice it, so I don't really want to start making a mess of things. Yeah, let's just have a look at the balance. Oh, perfectly even. Okay, so we're going to go with that. I turned the bottom one upside down, kept the first one right around. First thing I'm going to do is spread on our jam. I've got the proper stuff here, Hartley strawberry. If you haven't had this, you're not a jam pro. I don't even like jam, but this is the best jam out there in my opinion. Anyway, what we're going to do is get that jam on there nicely. Good thing about this jam as well is it's not too stiff, so it's very easy to spread onto the cake without sort of sticking too much and ripping it apart, because this cake is very soft. Alright, I try not to spread it too far to the edge so that we don't have a mess. I did over here just to cover up that little blemish. And as you can see, this jam does have a few bits of strawberry in, so I've tried to spread them sort of evenly because for some extra pizzazz, I have some strawberries over here that I pre-sliced as well yesterday. And we're just going to put them on. I had the perfect amount of strawberry slices, so that's nice. I'm trying to think whether I should put a bit more jam on top. I don't think so. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is grab our other half, like so. Turn it over to the side that's going to touch the cream, and just put a very thin layer of jam, just to help everything stick together a bit. Yeah, this isn't a show of jam like that one is. So it's literally just a humble spread, please. And this can go to the edges because it's not a thick layer, so there's no, risk of it over squeezing out like there is with the first layer we jammed. Alright, so the final thing to do is add this beautiful whipped cream we made yesterday. Well, not the final, but we're getting there. I've never done this before, but I'm just gonna dollop it on. And I'm gonna start with a little less than I think I will need. I was actually really surprised when my mum asked for a Victoria sponge cake because she doesn't really like sweet things too much. Well, she likes sweet things, but not things that are too sweet, so I was a bit shocked, but hopefully she'll like this. I've tried to make everything sort of balanced flavour-wise, so okay. There we go. I feel like that's enough. Because I can see this edge creeping. Got second slice of cake, and I'm just going to, I think I was going to slap it on there, but I'm going to try and turn it over first and then place it, oops, right like that. There we go. Okay, final thing I'm going to do is top with a generous dollop of cream, like so. Is cake even? Yeah, it is. Okay. I wish I whipped this a bit stiffer, but you know, it is what it is. You live and you learn. Alright, so I have some strawberry halves, and I'm just gonna not throw them on, but just plonk them on, because I feel like if I try to arrange them too much, then I'll never be happy with the results. So I'd much rather start by being random and then try and arrange after, than start by trying to arrange and then cry about how overly random it looks. That being said, you know, little old me is still trying to arrange. Oh, I've still got one more slice. There we go. There we go. There we go. Wow. Doesn't she look absolutely stunning? Gonna taste stunning. And there we go, we're done with this beautiful Victoria sponge cake. So I'm going to put this in the fridge for a little bit, whilst everyone gets ready. And then we'll present it to my mum. Happy birthday. Oh, jeez. Cake is really nice. So if you're going to make a Victoria sponge, I highly recommend you use the recipe. And as I said, I will leave a link down to the video that I got it from in the description box. I love whipped cream. Alright, so that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you're also inspired to make your own Victoria sponge cake, whether it's for a birthday or just because you like cake. So yeah, I'll see you all next week. Bye.